freezing your butt off? Has this cold weather got you down? Have you laughed hard at after dinner mitts the last few months? Well, the people have spoken. It's time for Sup Fellas hoodies and t-shirts. We at Barstool Sports are all about the people and giving the people what they want.
Yes, the perfect amount of energy for this week. He is Brent Hanks. I am Jeff Platt. This is No Gamble, No Future. Welcome in, everybody. So, Mintzy, there's some hoodie promotion going on for sure, and that leads us in perfectly to our own hoodie promotion. Ladies and gentlemen, you can get your own No Gamble, No Future hoodie right now. Shop.pokergo.com. Again, that is shop.pokergo.com. And there it is. Brent, how beautiful is that? How many of you ordered?
Nice. And it's cheap, dude. $20?
I know it is.
Yeah,
that's the cheapest hoodie ever.
Oh, that just looks so good. It just looks so pretty. All right, so we got the hoodie promotion out of the way. Here's what's coming up on the show. A full-on March Madness preview. Ben Mintz from Barstool Sports will join us. Plus, Uncle Ron has a sleeper. He's got a champ.
I don't know what it means, sleeper, for Uncle Ron. I'm a little afraid.
We'll find out who that is in a little bit. We will reveal our cards, our Final Four, our champ. Fade me, follow Hanks. I think that's the right way to do it. You are crushing it. We'll save the actual numbers for the tracker later, but you are on fire. Thank you so much for joining us on our still new YouTube channel, so be sure to like and to subscribe. And also, Brent, we are, of course, on Facebook. And what can you do there?
I guess you just do the same thing.
I think you just
like and subscribe and follow.
I don't know if you can subscribe.
I don't know.
On Facebook.
I don't really use the Facebook these days.
But you guys, if you guys use Facebook and you want to just click like, that would be fantastic. And finally, before we get to Mintzy, Brent, we have our very own No Gamble, No Future bracket pool.
Let's
How
go,
beautiful
baby.
Is that?
It's free to play. Free to play on ESPN.com. It's out there. Follow us on Twitter. You can click it, join it. The winner of that pool will take home one of these hoodies that we're talking about.
Okay.
We might throw in some other stuff. We got some stickers. Jeff is going to probably throw in some cash. Is that right, Jeff?
No
cash?
Not going to throw
We'll work on that. I'll stay on Jeff on that. But either way, we're going to give out all sorts of shit. Make sure you sign up. Jump in that thing. It's free to play. We'll track it all. Try and bust my bracket. Try and bust Jeff's bracket. Take home the title. Maybe we'll get Mintzy in there.
Okay.
We'll get Mintzy in there. This guy, if he picks LSU over the Bonnies, I'm going to lose my mind.
Well, he probably will. We'll get to that in a minute. So one more time. That's ESPN.com.
Yeah.
You click on their bracket challenge, and all you have to do is search No Gamble, No Future. We'll tweet out the links also at Buffalo Hanks, at Jeff Platt, at NGNS Show. So he said his name about 100 times. So let's bring him in. But first, let's introduce him to the people. This is Ben Mintz at Barstool Mintzy on Twitter. And Mintzy, welcome in to No Gamble, No Future. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thank y'all for having me on. And actually, remember Brent from back in the day, battling online poker, and met him and hung out with him when he won his World Series of Poker bracelet in Vegas. I remember that really well, watching that. And so thrilled to come on here. And I know, Jeff, you do a lot of cool poker stuff. Been following you for a while. Appreciate y'all having me.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate that. It's funny that you bring that up because when we were chatting before the show, what'd you say? You said, I recognize that screen name.
I had to reach out the old Full Tilt names because I played a ton on Full Tilt, and I read an article about Ben, about Mintz. He was battling on Full Tilt and poker. So I said, dude, what was your name? And it was the Destroyer 531. Like, oh my God, we played so many tournaments against each other. I mean, it's hard to believe that was so long ago.
And Ben, you guys partied together in Vegas also after this guy some way won a bracelet?
When he was when he was heads up in that World Series, I was good friends with the guy he was playing heads up against, and so I was following it real close. And so I remember when he won, and I remember I was like in an elevator with y'all right after and stuff too.
I got my money in so bad against Baisley. I mean,
a lot of people do,
Yeah. Just so bad. But there was never a doubt, really.
Well, indeed, miracles can happen, and Brent Hanks is the owner of a World Series of Poker bracelet. All right, Ben, so put this into perspective for us. How would you sum up how excited you are considering this is March Madness? We have made it to the first week of the NCAA Tournament.
I can't wait. I've got an awesome trip I'm going on tomorrow that I can't wait to mention too. Is I'm flying from New York to Denver in the morning, and I'm going to be at the Barstool Sports book at Ameristar Blackhawk.
Oh, baby.
Denver, and so I'm going to be doing, me and my producer Playboy Marty coming with me. We're going to be doing a lot of video content from all over the property, kind of live shows at the sports book before the games. And I can't wait to get out there to Colorado. Penn owning that Ameristar, that's going to be a great opportunity. And I've been going to Colorado since I was 9 years old and got a lot of friends out there. And so I can't even begin to tell you how pumped I am about it.
Amazing, man. You mentioned Barstool. I mean, you're sort of fresh on the scene over there. This will be your first March Madness with Barstool. Obviously, we had the Super Bowl. We got the Masters around the corner. How does that feel to be a part of the Barstool community, a part of that world?
It's still surreal because I don't know how much y'all followed about how I got hired last year in my 2020. I lived in 4 cities and had 3 jobs in 2020. I felt like I lived a day. I mean, everybody felt like it was a long year, but I was Drive Time Sports Radio in Shreveport, Bossier City, Louisiana for 4 years. I got let go on a station reformat change. Then I went and just played online poker at Ole Miss in Oxford, Mississippi for 3 months during quarantine when it blew up. I got hired by ESPN Baton Rouge, the LSU flagship, in late June, and that was literally the job I wanted. I just wanted to work they have one of the best radio stations in the South. I was happy about it. And then this video went viral of me going nuts after Ole Miss beat Kentucky in overtime. My producer and roommate had the wherewithal to just flip on his phone when I was going nuts after this game, and Barstool caught it on a retweet. And the next morning I was driving to Natchez, Mississippi to do a ESPN Baton Rouge Sunday morning show, and I see Dave Portnoy retweets SEC football hits different. It's me screaming at Lane Kiffin doing the Ole Miss hottie toddy cheer. Then I see Dave Portnoy's followed me on Twitter, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then I get a DM from Dave Portnoy. It's like Sunday morning, 9 a.m. It said, hey, is this you? And I said, damn right, that's me. And he said, we're ready for you to come work for us at Barstool Sports.
My God. My God.
I'm sitting there, and so he called. We set up a phone call for the next day, and it's like a Monday. I'm getting ready for a Monday show, and I'm in Natchez. I'm standing on the Mississippi River. And I say hello, and he first thing he says to me, he goes, your voice sounds exactly how I hoped it would. He goes, listen, I don't know everything about life, but I've been pretty good about finding talent, and you're my guy. And I was just like, damn. I'm like, all right, let's do it. And I moved up to New York. I'd only spent one night in my entire life in New York at a concert in fall of 2011, and I moved up here Halloween. And, now we're doing the dang thing, and I'm about, I guess it's about 4 months ago now. And I don't see how it could really be going better, but it's surreal. The journey's just it's crazy.
Yeah, what have these last couple months been like? It seems like you're pretty involved. It seems like you're pretty in the mix. We see all these live Barstool betting streams that you're a part of. You're reviewing your picks on Twitter. You've emerged as a super popular Twitter personality. So how have the last couple of months been for you?
It's been surreal. It's been every day. I'll be honest. I catch myself 5 or 6 times a day just trying to stop and be like, this can't really, be happening. But I think I'm mentally ready for it at 37. Like, whereas we were all young and foolish. We all were 10 years ago. And I don't think I could have handled it then. But now I'm older. I got a lot better head on my shoulders, and I think I can deal with it. And man, it's just igniting. And when they hired me, the video was the big part, but they did some research on me, and I had the ESPN Baton Rouge background and the gambling background. And Penn's owns a lot of casinos in Louisiana and Mississippi. And so I was just a really good fit with what they're doing. And it's just going, I don't see how it could be going better. I'm part of Pick Central every day, which is an hour gambling show from noon to 1 Eastern. I do like a 1 minute after dinner Mintz video. I'm involved in podcasts and trivia and ping pong. I just totally immerse myself in the culture. And I will say this. Dave offered me, he said I could stay in the South and didn't have to move up here if he just wanted the content, but they'd pay me more if I came up here. And that's the best decision I ever made, because if you're not in this building, I would not have all the relationships and the collaborations. And, if this doesn't work out, I don't want to look back on it and be like, have any regrets that I didn't try hard enough.
Now, you mentioned Pick Central. It's obviously fantastic podcast, great content that's going on out there. You and Brandon Walker not only are doing the show together, putting out picks, fair to say that you guys are pretty good friends as well?
Well, yeah, so we've got an interesting relationship because, I was brought in, so he's the big Mississippi State guy, and they brought me in to feud with him as the Ole Miss guy because it's just a bit, in the South, a huge Mississippi rivalry. And his personality, like, he's a little more negative, like dark, and I'm super like positive, high energy. So I think it works really well together. Just us being opposites. And we have a mutual respect where he's an older guy too. He's 41, married with 4 kids. I'm 37. You know, I think there's an understanding that he grinded in Tupelo, Mississippi, and I grinded in Bossier City, Louisiana, and we freaking appreciate the opportunity we have now. And I'm not saying all the younger kids don't work hard, but I think it's just different when you're older. You just get it a little more. And so I think we have a great mutual understanding on that. We both work really hard, if you call this work. But we go at each other's throats, too. I mean, on the Ole Miss Mississippi State stuff, we're super ruthless. You know, we'll say anything. You know, I know that it's business, not it's. You know, Barstool, it's kind of like WWE a lot. You know, a lot of it's content, funny. And so I know not to, you know, it's strictly business, not personal. And so, I mean, we definitely body bag each other in public a good bit, too.
There's nothing like the Egg Bowl between Ole Miss and Mississippi State. And there is also nothing like, Mintzy, that tailgate scene that Ole Miss has going on. Is that a fair assessment?
It is, and it's going to be so much fun when I get back there next fall too. Now after all this, I mean, I'm not even going to be able to walk around in Oxford, Mississippi. It's going to be hilarious too because they have such beautiful women in Oxford.
Yeah. That's what I was mainly referring to.
Picking up girls, and now it's going to be like no problem, you know. So it's just like post-hype breakout in the late 30s, you know. But man, it's can't wait to get back. I'm actually going for I'm a big SEC baseball fan. I'm gonna go to the Ole Miss LSU baseball series in late April and the spring game. I've gotten to know Lane Kiffin and the team and stuff pretty well. I'm good friends with the quarterback, Matt Corral, and so I'm really looking forward to a spring trip there next month.
We gotta get you out of here to Vegas, man. Maybe play a little poker. What do you say?
We will. I mean, I know, you know, they announced the World Series is not going to be this summer. I mean, I know details are still sketchy. I kind of think it's going to be November, but whenever it is, I'm coming. I want to do a lot of, you know, poker. Obviously, being part of Barstool, I'm going to have the stoolies behind me when I play. And also, Penn owns the M Resort in Henderson, so I can go out there and do
gorgeous resort, man. I've spent a lot of time at that sports bar. I'll tell you that right now. A lot of video poker there, Jeff.
A lot of cocktails.
A lot of cocktails. I know that's hard to believe. But you mentioned
we're on the straight and narrow these days, boys.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, listen, you can get cranberry juice. That's fine. I'll keep doing my thing, and we'll sit together, and we'll have a ball and a biscuit. Now, listen, you mentioned the WSOP right around the corner. You got the stoolies behind you. I know a guy that might be able to get you on TV. I just so happen to know a guy. Maybe we can get you on some sort of feature table if you get out here to play the main event.
So, hey, sounds like a plan. I already, it was funny. One of my buddies already said he's putting me in the main event this year, too.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, my buddy Kaufman Talley, a big poker pro from New Orleans, South Lafayette, Louisiana guy. He's been backing me a little bit lately, and he said, "Ain't no problem. We're putting you in the main." So
let's go.
Nice thing.
Wow, that sounds good. How about that free roll? Mintzy, you and I know about deep runs in the main. Brent doesn't know anything about that. Back in 2011, you finished in 75th for $90,000. What do you remember the most about that overall experience?
I mean, the biggest thing is I had the hand of my life against Patrick Antonius on day 3. The Mikey McD, Johnny Chan hand and rounders has nothing on this one. I 3-bet the 5-bet in with King Queen in this just outrageous spot in the main and pulled the trigger. And he put in like 40% of his stack on a 4-bet. And when he did it, he like bombed a 4-bet. It was his cutoff to my button, and we were battling. I was on his left. But it was 12,200. He made it 7,200. And I made it like 19,500 because people used to bet bigger with King Queen in position. And he bombs it to 63,000, and he started the hand with 160, and I had like 220. So when he bombs it to 63, my instincts are like, why'd my dumb ass 3-bet here when I could have just called and played this great hand in position against, you know, which has got his range killed because he's playing everything. And then it was like I was about to fold, and then my instincts just went nuts. I was like, this dude just doesn't think you have the heart to do this in the World Series main at day 3 without kings or aces. And I was like, and he's just over-betting here trying to look committed because so many people in poker do that. They try to look like they're pot committed when they don't have it just to, like, make people think there's no fold equity, you know? And so I just was like, my instincts went off, and I ripped King Queen, and he folded. And I showed it at the table, and nobody wanted to mess with me the whole rest of the day.
Oh, man. Not many people can tell that story about bluffing.
That deserved to be a 3 a.m. ESPN hand for the rest of the time.
Absolutely, man. I mean, Patrick Antonius.
Yeah, but I got 75th. That was my peak in the World Series. That was definitely my peak. Made day 6. That was the highlight of my poker years. I got like 327th in 2018 on comeback, so it was nice to know the old man still might have a little bit in it.
And might be ready to go come the 2021 World Series of Poker main event. All right, Mintzy, you mentioned your Louisiana background as far as sports radio hosting is concerned. This man to my left is so fired up about that first-round matchup between St. Bonaventure and LSU, who beat your Ole Miss Rebels just barely in the SEC tournament. How do you forecast that St. Bonaventure-LSU matchup as we start to move into a March Madness preview?
I think St. Bonnie's in a really good spot here, to be honest. So LSU has an unbelievable amount of talent. Their freshman guard, Cam Thomas, averages like 25 a game. He's the top 5 scorer in college basketball. You can tell he's an NBA guy. Javonte Smart's a great three-point shooter, another guard. Darius Days is kind of like he's a bigger stretch 4, but he's kind of like a bigger guy, but he can shoot. And then you also got to keep your eye on Trenton Watford, who's really, really, really good. He had 31 points against Bama and almost won the SEC championship for him. But the thing about this LSU team, every time you convince yourself like they got so much talent and they're good, they come out and lay an egg. And I feel like they just had this big SEC tournament run, and they might be thinking, hey, if we win against St. Bonnie, we're playing Michigan. I feel like this spot, I'm not saying they're not going to take the Bonnie seriously. They're in the NCAA tournament, and St. Bonnie's are a damn good team. But I can just kind of almost see like an SEC tournament hangover game here possibly for them. I think it's very in play.
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally with you. They're phenomenal. There is a decent amount of history between.
Their defense is weak, though. They don't play hard on dig.
But don't you think, too, that's what I worry about. LSU, they have all this talent. They're going to show up in this game. It's the NCAA. You got the spotlights on. You got history between the two head coaches, obviously. LSU coach coming from the Atlantic 10. He was a VCU powerhouse there. I worry about how deep the Bonnies are. I'm not going to lie. I do think the Bonnies are going to win, but we don't have really anyone off the bench that's putting in a lot of minutes. LSU is going to keep cycling in players. They're going to keep scoring. They're averaging about 75, 80 a game, somewhere in there. We keep the tempo slow. We play lockdown defense, one of the best defensive teams in the league. I still like the Bonnies in this matchup. I do think we're going to win the game, but I actually worry about LSU more than I do looking ahead to a potential round 2 matchup against Michigan. Michigan's not the same team with Isaiah Livers.
Yeah, he looks like he's going to be out, too.
Yeah, man. Like, that's a broken foot for sure. I don't see how he's going to come back and play. Walk us through, what do you see coming out of this Eastern region? Who are your sleepers? Who are you keeping an eye on in the tournament?
All right, let me pull up my bracket real quick.
Yeah, please.
Do it. Give the people what they want. The people are looking for tips as far as their bracket pools are concerned. So like Brent said, any sleepers that you're feeling for making that deep run, that Sweet 16, that elite run, feel free to throw some out.
Okay, I'll just run through some of my tips and thoughts. So that bracket, I like Florida State a lot. I think they're in a great spot in that 4 seed. I don't think UNC Greensboro can match up with them. I think Colorado and Georgetown's a pretty weak 5-12 matchup. Georgetown's going to be a big upset pick because the momentum they have out of the Big East tournament. I kind of think Colorado's going to take care of them. I think Georgetown's going to be a really public underdog. And I also just think Florida State can beat, I think they can beat Michigan. I mean, they've lost to them in the Elite Eight a couple of years ago. I think that's a matchup they could match up well, or LSU or St. Bonnie. So I actually have Florida State to make the Final Four out of this regional as the 4th seed. On the other half of the regional, I think Bama is very good. I mean, I think Nate Oates has done a phenomenal job. They rely a lot on the 3-point shot, but they're good, but I don't know if they're Final Four good. I think Texas, the upset pick people aren't seeing, I think Abilene Christian's got a shot against Texas.
Wow.
They're a 9-point underdog. They're a 9-point underdog, but they're 23-4. This is a once-in-a-lifetime dream spot for a Texas private school to play Texas in the NCAA tournament. And I think Texas, like a lot of times, man, I think they may be right for the picking coming off that Big 12 Conference Championship. I think a lot of times you can kind of catch people. You see teams win conference tournaments and then lay eggs in the first round. I'm not saying Abilene Christian's going to win, but that's one I'm keeping my eye on. That Michigan State, I know that they're not near as good as they usually are, but they got a great draw with UCLA and possibly BYU for Izzo to do his traditional randomly get them to the Sweet 16. I think that might be in play in this bracket as well.
Yeah, the public is always clicking on the 9-point favorite in a 3 versus 14 matchup, especially when that 3 seed just won the Big 12. And the public will be all over Texas, but with that line just at 9, that is certainly concerning. Okay, take us to the West, Mintzy. Can anybody beat Gonzaga in that region?
Not in this region. I think it's the weakest region. I think it's they got a great draw. Oklahoma, Missouri's been really inconsistent down the stretch. Oklahoma faded huge, including a horrible loss at Kansas State, who was wretched. So I think they got a great draw to make the Sweet 16. I don't believe in Creighton. They had the weird stuff going on with Coach McDermott with the racial comments or whatever. And then the way they played, I mean, that effort against Georgetown was just horrendous.
Yeah, they're dead. They're dead.
And then I actually think Ohio's got a shot against Virginia. Virginia's dealing with COVID issues right now. They're not even practicing. Ohio's a 7.5-point underdog. They got the MAC Player of the Year. I forgot his name. That's one that's at 4-13 I'm keeping an eye on. And then on the other side of the bracket, Kansas is dealing with some COVID issues right now. I think Oregon can make a run on the other side of that bracket. We've seen them. Dana Altman and Oregon have done really well in March the last few years. I know that they got beat by Oregon State in the conference tournament, but they're playing really well. Duarte is a hell of a player. And I think Iowa's a susceptible number 2 a little bit. They don't play any defense. I mean, they're talented with Luka Garza and Bohannon at point guard. And they've got some guys, but I just feel like they can be beat. I wouldn't be surprised to see Oregon make a Sweet 16 run, and I think Gonzaga's making the Final Four.
All right, Gonzaga to the Final Four in the West. How about the South? And I think you've got to ask the same question that we did for Gonzaga. Can Baylor be defeated in that region?
The thing with Baylor, the COVID thing that hit them was really late in the season, and even though they got the big road win at West Virginia in overtime, they have not been the same coming out of it. They were beating Big 12 teams by an average of 24 points a game in a tough league before that. Mm-hmm. And, you look at their performance in the Big 12 tournament, I mean, really sluggish effort to barely beat Kansas State, lost to Oklahoma State. Maybe that could be a motivating factor. I do think they come out and murder a horrible Hartford team. Even at 26, I think they cover that. But either North Carolina or Wisconsin second round, I kind of think it's going to be Carolina, will be a very, very tough test for them. I still think they can get through it, but it's not going to be a joke. Villanova is a week 5, especially after Gillespie's out for the year, one of their best players. Winthrop's only got 1 loss.
Winthrop's going to beat them. Mark it down. Winthrop's going to beat Villanova.
Yeah, that's one I'm watching for. And I'm also watching North Texas Purdue. This is a team, the over-under's 126.5 in this game. I mean, this is one of those games that somebody could win 58-54. They could go either way. They both play low-scoring games. I think the Mean Green got shot.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Let's go to the Midwest. This is Illinois. I've been on them all year, man. Early in the season, I told Jeff, we're betting Illinois to win the whole goddamn thing. I love this team. I think Ayo DeSumo is now just going to play lights out now that he's back, a little more comfortable in that mask. Kofi, the old Cockburn, he is the biggest player in the league. Nobody can stop him in the middle. I love this team. Walk us through the Midwest. What do you got your eye on?
Man, I got my eye on a hopeful we get a Sweet 16 Illinois-Oklahoma State game for America. Because I don't understand. So the seeding thing, I think it's a similar situation to college football where everybody turns in their Heisman ballots before the conference championship games. The damn committee doesn't even look at these conference tournament performances. I mean, you're telling me Oklahoma State's a 4?
That's crazy.
Six ranked teams in 19 days, including winning at West Virginia without Cunningham and beating them on a neutral floor twice in a week. And West Virginia got a 3 and they got a 4? I thought that was outrageous. Couldn't believe it. But I want to see Oklahoma State, Illinois in the Sweet 16 just because I think it'll be unbelievable. I love watching Cade Cunningham play basketball. That 8-9 matchup between Loyola Chicago and Georgia Tech's interesting. Tech might be dealing with some COVID issues now, I'm hearing too. But coming off an ACC championship, Loyola Chicago at 24-4. That one, I don't really know what's going to happen in that game, to be honest. I think Tennessee's a week 5 seed. I watched them play a lot this year. They play good defense, but they suck on offense. I think they're overseeded. I'm not a believer. San Diego State, I think, beats Syracuse. I think Syracuse is a super public underdog. I kind of like San Diego State in that matchup. Clemson-Rutgers is the worst game in the NCAA tournament. Neither team belong there. I think both of them. I watched them both play this year. I don't think they're good, either one of them, at all in that matchup.
And then Houston, your thoughts on them? Are they a capable
So Houston, see, here's the thing with Houston. They'll kill Cleveland State. They're awesome against inferior teams. Mm-hmm. They hold teams to 36% shooting. But you just worry about the step up in competition. I mean, you just look at how much trouble Memphis gave them with their length and athleticism in both games. Recently, I mean, I think Houston's got a great draw to get to the Sweet 16, but, West Virginia is so known for kind of blowing it in March. But, a Houston-West Virginia game is certainly an opportunity for West Virginia to get to the Elite Eight. But as far as, I think Illinois or Oklahoma State's going to the Final Four. I would lean Illinois, but gosh, I hate going against Cade Cunningham. We've seen how the tournament goes. One player can kind of put his team on his back. That matchup, I feel like, could go either way.
Who's your champ, and then also what team do you maybe see a little bit of value on as far as the futures market is concerned for taking the title down?
Okay, I think I got Gonzaga winning it.
Yeah.
I know it's a weak chalk thing, but a lot of it has to do with the fact that when I'm picking a champion, I feel like they're going to make the Final Four. I mean, I hate going out on a limb, taking a 4 or 5 seed to win it all that you have no idea if they're getting out of the second round. And so I've got my Final Four is Gonzaga, Florida State. I went Oklahoma State just for something different, and Baylor is my Final Four. And I got Gonzaga winning. I hadn't figured out if I'm picking Baylor or Oklahoma State. Probably going to pick Baylor. Gonzaga over Baylor is where I'm leaning. But I'm still in the process of finishing my brackets.
Okay. So, Chuck, I mean, everyone's going to go Gonzaga, rightfully so. A lot of people – there hasn't been a team this good in college basketball in maybe a decade.
Yeah.
It's hard to even understand how good Gonzaga is. It will be interesting to see them play against some tougher opponents, right? I mean, coming against when BYU is the toughest opponent in your league, and I'm not taking shots at BYU. Now let's play some of these Big Ten teams. Let's play some of these guys from the Big 12. Let's really see what you've got.
Yeah, and part of me, though, I'll say this, Baylor and Michigan both look so vulnerable because they both, had peaked, and it seems like they're struggling going in, and it's a hard thing to gauge and read. They both have a ton of talent. Michigan, as you mentioned, the Livers injury is just huge. Yeah. I mean, it's a big knock on them. I love Baylor's 3 guards and the way they play defense and the way they shoot the 3. But, man, it's concerning how they played going in. I mean, there's just no way around it. Baylor, North Carolina, second round could get wild, too, if that happens.
I think so, too. All right, let's wrap with going back to some poker.
Hey, Florida State 9-1 to make the Final Four is my futures.
Oh, okay. Perhaps
that's 9-1. That's really good.
In the
I like Florida State a lot.
I feel like the Barstool Sports book has the best futures odds of all time. Because a lot of times you're dealing with the offshore books and stuff, those futures just get juiced so much that they're sucker bets. But on the Barstool Sportsbook app, man, I feel like every time I look at futures odds, it's like they're being too nice.
Yeah, I think in Nevada we don't have the benefit yet, hopefully soon, of having a Barstool Sportsbook or a DraftKings. But I think Circa is comparable here.
Yeah,
in
we
Las
get
Vegas
Circa. It's pretty good. We get
casinos
freaking everywhere.
Oh, Circa is amazing. You
Jeff
come here,
there.
We'll go there, and it will be an amazing trip. All right, let's wrap with some poker. We have a pretty big matchup coming up here in a couple of weeks. Daniel Negranu versus Phil Hellmuth, High Stakes Duel 2. Give us your thoughts on that kind of a matchup.
I think it'll be a lot of fun. I like Dan. I mean, you got to like Daniel here, especially coming off playing Polk, who's one of the best in the world. I mean, he's really cut his teeth, the experience he got with that. And you got to – I mean, honestly, I got a lot of respect for Daniel even doing the whole thing with Polk because Polk, that was obviously not Daniel's comfort zone, really, and he stepped up and did it. And I think that's going to help him in his matchup with Hellmuth. I mean, you got to think he's got more experience playing heads up, just doing a lot of it recently. And Hellmuth is talented and great as he is, and I'm not dogging him, but he's always kind of known for beating up on the weaker competition. I feel like Daniel should have an edge here.
Bro, in Denver, get the word out when you land there at the book. I mean, let's get this round 1 up there. People ought to be able to bet on this thing.
Barstool Sports.
That'd be fun as hell to bet.
Oh, yeah, I think so. And the poker scene at Ameristar Blackhawk is great too. Yeah. So Denver, they're changing that archaic law where they got the 100 max bet thing. So it's a running through May, but I think they're going to have no limit go in early May. And man, those games ought to be pretty damn good when all those regulars hadn't played real no limit and understanding the pot sizes and betting and all that. Kind of feel like that might be a good spot to play some no-limit poker here in the next few months.
Oh, for sure.
All right, don't tilt off too much, though, if you have a rough day at the sportsbook, okay?
Yeah. Well, hey, at least these days, I know I'm getting a steady paycheck, and I got health insurance and stuff, so even if it goes bad, I'm taken care of.
That's true. That's true. A little easier to handle. Well, Mintzy, thank you so much for jumping on with us. Really enjoyed meeting you over the Skype machine or whatever it is, and we really, really appreciate the time.
Yeah, look forward to hopefully doing some more poker stuff with y'all in the future. I'm going to this first half of the year with live pokers, obviously, I know there's some stuff going on in Texas and Florida. I'm kind of staying away from it for the time being, but I'm hoping the second half of the year with WSOP and then in 2022 we're going to get this live poker train really rolling. And I think people may have a better attitude toward it now than they used to, and people hopefully will play more and be a little more grateful. And after we didn't get to play for a while.
I think so too. We'll see you in Vegas hopefully in the fall, all right?
Yeah, talk to you soon. Thanks, Mintzy.
Man, I'm going to come out there. If that World Series is November, I'm going to try to come out there for a few weeks. And
do it, bro. You can stay right at the old Hanks household, man. Come on over.
All right. Thanks, Mintzy. We appreciate it, man.
Thanks for having me.
All right, there he goes. That is Barstool Mintzy. Yeah, with the Barstool guys love poker.
Yeah, they all do, man. Yeah. I mean, you saw Nate. He was at the feature table a couple years ago. The People's Champ, I believe, was the graphic that popped up for him. It's still the background on his Twitter. Smitty plays the main event every single year. Now we add Mintzy to the mix. This guy's electric, full of energy. You can tell he's passionate about everything that he's a part of. He's going to be a huge part of what Barstool's got going on, especially as they come in to the poker scene. I couldn't be any happier about it.
Yeah, I think that was the perfect hire for them. And Mintzy said it. Portnoy really does just have an eye for this stuff. Just can sense the right pickups to make as far as talent.
Explains why you and I have never been contacted, Jeff.
Well, I haven't checked my DMs recently. Right. Yeah. All right. So follow Mintzy on Twitter at Barstool Mintzy. Again, we appreciate the time from him. And Brent, we wrapped by talking about High Stakes Duel 2, Phil Hellmuth versus Daniel Negranu. I see plenty of questions in the chat about it, and thank you all so much for joining us, for chiming in. We appreciate it. So fill the people in. A little bit of a delay as far as High Stakes Duel 2
let's talk a little bit about that. So
we
had a non-player COVID concern, and we had to take all the precautions that we possibly could to make sure that this didn't turn into anything, and it clearly won't. New plan, Jeff.
Okay.
We're going to air this sucker on March 31st. High Stakes Duel will be at 8 o'clock Eastern, March 31st. Now, the weigh-in will happen at 7:30. Nick Schulman's going to get it both players. We're going to hear it from Daniel. We're going to hear from Phil. They won't shut up, as we all know from our show. They're going to continue to talk. They're going to throw shade. They've been doing it nonstop on Twitter ever since. Monday, on the 30th, we're going to have the Hype Show. The Hype Show is going to be 8 o'clock. That'll be free on Poker Go. That'll be free on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, you name it. You can tune in to the Hype Show. That'll be Ali Najad and Nick Schulman. They're going to break this thing down.
So it's not us.
Jeff, it's not going to be you and I.
Didn't get that gig. Didn't get the High Stakes Duel gig.
The only reason is because you and I have got to do No Gamble, No Future on the 30th.
So we just couldn't be
weren't
ready
available
for High Stakes Duel 2. It's such a big matchup. We were happy to hand it off to Ali and Nick. I think it's
you know,
Nick
we'll
still
bring in the C team.
hasn't texted me back. But yeah, I'm sure he'll get around to it. All right, we've been hearing from our friends on the go over the last couple of weeks, their thoughts on Phil Hellmuth versus Daniel Negranu. Up next, how about Brian Rass? Let's see what he has to say about High Stakes Duel 2.
What's up, guys? This is Brian Rast.
What's up, Brian?
I'm here to talk about Daniel Negranu and Phil Hellmuth potentially playing heads up, no limit hold'em in a challenge. It looks like these two icons of the poker world are talking trash and thinking about fighting each other. And you know what? I mean, I think this is a pretty clear one to call. In my humble opinion, it's like you got, on the one hand, you got Phil Hellmuth. He's done a lot in the poker world, but kind of barely plays anymore, just sort of shows up for the World Series of Poker, and that's it. Definitely doesn't have heads up, you know, experience really, and heads up no limit hold'em. So unless he's in his basement training hard every day, you know, in the lab, he's probably not going to do too well. And I say this from experience, sort of, because, you know, I'm not a heads up player myself. So, you know, I played a lot of poker in my career, but very little heads up. So, you know, I'm not going to exactly wake up one day and expect to just beat everybody in the world at heads up, no limit hold'em. You know, I know Phil thinks that, and maybe if you think Phil's just an alien who's way more talented than anybody to ever do it, maybe you pick him. But, you know, I kind of think hard work and studying stuff generally pays off, and, you know, Phil hasn't done it. But guess who has done it? Who has done it is his opponent, Daniel Negranu. Daniel Negranu just played 25,000 hands against Doug Polk. Doug Polk is one of the best to ever do heads up, no limit hold'em. And even if today he's not the best in the world, he's definitely really, really, really good and up there. Whereas, you know, Negranu, like Hellmuth, never really played heads up that much before in his career. And, you know, so in a certain sense, Hellmuth is starting where Daniel Negranu was. But Daniel Negranu is not there. Daniel Negranu is here. He just played 25,000 hands, definitely improved over the course of those sessions. And, you know, interestingly enough, if he wanted to know some of his leaks, he probably found him out from Doug Polk. Because Doug Polk not only has talked about him in videos, I mean, literally after the challenge, he's come out with multiple videos on YouTube where he just basically says, like, goes over hands and says things he thinks Daniel Negranu wasn't doing right. Like, not bluffing enough here, this, whatever. So if Negranu wants, not only does he have all this experience, then you just learn from his opponent who's just making it public the stuff he wasn't doing right. So I'd expect Daniel Negranu to come into this challenge as a very competent, solid, good heads-up, no-limit hold'em player, not only from his experience, but from learning from the first challenge, from his opponent even. And Hellmuth is just kind of jumping in cold turkey. So guess what? I'll take Daniel Negranu. I heard some websites offering 2-1. So guess what? You can hit me up if you want Hellmuth at 2-1. I'll bet Negranu. Now, obviously, if it's some BS publicity stunt, 500 hands live, like that's it, who cares? 500 hands is nothing. But if they're doing a real deal in the streets, no limit challenge, 20,000 hands or something like that, you got to take Daniel Negranu. And that's all I got to say about that. Peace.
Well, I think we got to fill Brian in on the particulars of High Stakes Duel 2. I don't think he was quite aware of what exacay was going on. But
it's
still,
so, like, Ras knows everything about anything going on, but he has no idea about this, really. However, I also think that the line isn't bad. Like, Negranu is probably about a 2-1 favorite.
Right. It will not be a 20,000 hand challenge. It will be round one of a sit-and-go format. And it's kind of the same storyline. He mentioned it that we've heard again and again and again. Negranu has gained this valuable heads-up experience, and it's experience that Hellmuth does not have, and that, in Rast's opinion, that should give Daniel Negranu a big edge. High Stakes Duel coming up March 31st, just about 2 weeks away. Very much looking forward to that one, and very much, Brent, looking forward to this. Uncle Ron is back.
Ronnie, baby.
And I think that's all we need to say. Let's just roll it.
This is a good one.
Ron. Uncle Ron. Oh, hello. I'm just on my Ron Palm here.
Ron Palm.
And I believe I've found the Cinderella team for the big dance. This may surprise you, but it spit out the Arkansas Razorbacks. They're at 45-1 right now. A few months ago, I made my pick, and they were at 70-1. If you did that, great. You're making free money from your bookie. Now they've moved down to 45-1, and they are the 9th best team in the tournament. They're the 9th ranked team, and they're still 45-1. I have no idea what my bookie is thinking. Reason why the Ron Palm model likes the Arkansas Razorbacks so much is they have a secret weapon, an insect. It's a human praying mantis. His name's Connor Vanover. He's 7'3", and he has a 10'6" wingspan. So he has a Jeff Platt, a 5'3" Jeff Platt on each arm.
5'10".
This guy is insane, and they're saving him for the big dance. He's only averaging 17 minutes a game, and he doesn't have to jump to dunk. So when it comes down to stretch in the Final Four after playing for 2 weeks straight, this guy's going to have all the energy in the world. Saving energy, not dunking, and then only being used for 17 minutes throughout the regular season. This is a perfect spot for the Arkansas Razorbacks. Another reason I picked them is my good friend John Daly is an alumni of the Arkansas Razorbacks. You got to go with his picks, and he's made a lot of money gambling in his life, and I just trust him. I talked to him on the phone this morning. So lastly, I want to leave you with this video I found of the human praying mantis with his two brothers who are also 7 feet tall. And you'll see why I picked them for the big dance. Let's go. Let's bust our bookies.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. That's quite a dance.
Starstruck. Now, I'm being told that we actually have another feature video
Yeah.
of the Vanover
With the
family
Vanovers?
from Arkansas. I believe it's Arkansas.
Or Arkansas.
Arkansas,
All
yeah.
right.
Producer John, can you fire that up? Let's take another look at this.
I mean, how does Arkansas not win it all?
They're going to
after
win
that?
everything.
Yeah.
I can't believe they're all 7-footers, other than mom and
Yeah.
dad.
Well, you think Uncle Ron's in our bracket pool?
Uncle Ron is for sure in our bracket
Okay.
pool. We should talk about Jeff. Can you tell us about that bracket
I
pool
would
again?
love to. You
Tell
go
the
to
good people in the chat.
ESPN, you go to the bracket challenge, and all you have to do is search "No Gamble, No Future," and you can be in. You can be in the mix. You can compete against us and everybody else in the No Gamble.
I'm going to
No
put it in the
Future
chat. Let me
community.
load it
Okay.
if it's going to
Yeah.
work.
Take your time.
It's just not. What is
Do you
going
want
on?
us to wait?
The internet doesn't work on my laptop.
Oh, that's bad.
I was trying to look up the name of a coach earlier. I couldn't even get to it.
You need a raise.
What a-
It's an old laptop.
What a disaster.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, meanwhile, we're going to move ahead with the program. If
Please
that's okay
do,
with you.
Jeff.
Unfortunately for us, we opened up a box of cards, and safe to say it did not go too well. Here's another edition of Breaking Worse. All right, folks, here we go. Breaking Worse. We have a box, a 2020 Panini Playbook NFL. Brent, now this is your wheelhouse, yeah?
I hope so,
This
Jeff.
is
God, we
beautiful.
need it. And how much
Okay.
did this cost?
We got a good deal thanks to producer Joseph, but it still cost us about $350.
For 4 cards total. There are 4
Yeah,
cards in here.
yeah. So we have 1 pack of cards, 1 pack per box, 4 cards per pack, so 4 cards per box. So 4 cards is all we are going to see.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I need you. You
Just
just
gonna
you
take-
handle
just
them
gonna take the
delicately.
pack
You have very
of cards
fragile
out.
little
I
hands.
actually think it opens this one. Oh, whatever. Okay. Yep. There we
So
go.
that's it. Who's
There
this
it
on the
is.
cover?
Drew Lock.
That's Drew Lock on the
Yeah,
cover.
well, it's gonna be a big year for him, and then
That's who's on the cover.
Feels nice.
These are gonna be worth money.
well, that's the goal.
Oh, boy.
This is gonna be.
What
a
could go
disaster.
wrong? Breaking
Yeah.
Worse.
Number 1.
Okay, so I think I have them in my hands. I'm gonna give you the first card
Okay.
to just.
I'm not gonna look.
Yeah, we're not gonna look. You're just gonna try to. These are nice and thick
Don't look
cards.
at them. You sure
Okay,
you don't
I
want to
got-
look?
yeah,
and
I got it. I got it.
those are 4 cards.
These are 4. Okay, I'm gonna give you one right now. Careful.
I have it in my hands.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let's do a slow reveal and then we'll show you. Okay, we're gonna-
Number
Who's that?
48 of 99.
Okay,
Sterling
so
Shepard.
number 99 Sterling Shepard.
But Jeff, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that that's not exactly a home run.
I don't think that's the dream, but number 99 is pretty good, right?
Okay.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
gotta be pretty good,
All right.
pretty valuable.
Yeah, the corner looks kind
Okay.
of not great on these.
Well, yeah. We try to sell it, we'll edit that part out.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it looks damaged.
Oh, $8. Nice.
Number 2.
Take an account for the corner.
No. Please be good. Mint condition. We're down to 3 chances to spike.
I'm coming down the fingers.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, top down.
Dallas.
Cowboys.
I see Cowboys.
Cowboys gotta be worth a lot. Is it a DAC? It is a DAC.
That's Dak Prescott.
Be like a cool. Oh, it's the back of the card.
It's
okay.
the back of the card.
Be
Ready
an
for the
autograph
reveal?
and be low numbered. Yes.
Down and dirty, numbered. 250 of 299.
Yeah, not an autograph.
No, I don't see an
But
autograph. So is this
It
good?
has to be okay.
The corner also. What is going on with these?
Again, edit that one out if we post
edit-
this on.
Yeah. Sterling Shepard
Yeah.
and Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott. Wish
Uh-huh.
that would have been an autograph, but that just means we're due for more autographs.
Okay. Would you consider this 0 for 2?
No, I'd say one. That Dak card's got to be worth at least like $50 or something. Oh, the Dak one's got to be terrible. Because one number to 25 sold for $15.
Oh, God.
We're just totally screwed.
Oh, we're just dead.
$15. Nice.
Number 3.
And then there are 2 chances. Now, the last one is usually the best. Okay, now we could still spike something here, but the last card is usually the best. Okay. You got it?
Yeah. Top down.
Logo or anything?
number 60, Washington Redskins football team.
Don't be Haskins.
Dwayne Haskins.
Oh,
God damn it. And it's autographed.
Oh my God.
Come on.
It's numbered to 10.
There's only 10 of these? And this guy's he's out of the league. Oh my God.
If you were to tell us you'd get a quarterback autograph numbered to 10, we would have made it.
Only 10 of these in existence.
Oh my God.
That's unbelievable.
Does anybody want to buy that?
I don't even care if it doesn't
Back.
focus on this
Somewhere, maybe.
one. Oh, that is just sickening. Dwayne Haskins, seriously?
Number 9 of 10 sold for $10 on February the 10th. $10. Ordinary citizen.
Number 4.
Okay, come on, here we go. This is like a booklet. This is like a really...
This one is?
Yeah, can you see like from the side?
Oh my
How big?
God,
That's
there's
one
two.
card. No, it's one. It's gonna like open up or something.
Okay.
So, it's like black and gold. I see the number first. It's numbered to 99, so that's good.
Okay.
It's numbered to 99. I don't know how I'll reveal it. It's a New York Jets logo.
It's a jet?
It's gonna be Sam Darnold. Let's just open it. Denzel Mims. Rookie jersey autograph.
I mean, he's good, right?
Yeah, I think he's good, right?
Look at that. Should we Google? That's a nice card.
This is pretty. It's like a booklet. Voila.
Oh my.
Patch autograph.
Some potential.
Yeah,
That might be
95
worth
to
a little
99. This could be worth. Well, he had a good year. Yeah.
I don't know. Let me look at the phone. Let me look this up while we talk about a disaster. How much money did we spend again?
$350.
Mother. He's a receiver. I didn't even know that.
I thought he had it, or maybe he just had a good game.
This is probably a total bust.
There's one number to 200 that's the same thing that sold for $18.
$18. This is.
Actually, but this is not going to be good.
How am I going to explain this one to my wife? Do we have to air this?
We did have to air it.
I still have yet to explain this to my wife.
Is breaking worse an understatement?
I mean, honestly, we have to be the worst in the history of breaking cards. Why the hell did we ever get into this?
Why would we spend that much money on 4 cards?
I don't ever want to do that segment again.
All right, we'll see you in a couple weeks for the next
too
segment of
painful.
Breaking Worse. We'll be recovered by then. Not financially, but perhaps.
I mean, God damn it.
emotionally.
We can't run any worse than what just happened. I think that we're getting rigged boxes.
Oh,
I think
maybe.
the system is rigged. Someone's cheating us.
Oh, could it be producer Joseph? who's
Producer
hooking us up with
Joseph,
the
are
good
you
prices?
finagling
Oh,
these boxes? Are you like razor blading them, getting the cards out, putting in a Dwayne Haskins? He's not even in the league.
You give us our money back, we won't continue with this complaint.
We'll remove
on a
this from the
YouTube
show,
program.
but we want a refund.
Yep, full refund.
Yeah.
In full. Maybe a little bonus if you feel so inclined. But yeah, that was pretty terrible.
bless
Speaking of terrible, let's get to my card, shall we? It was rough.
I mean,
Again.
you are just a train wreck,
Yeah,
Jeff.
it's pretty rough. All right, let's see. Clemson to win the ACC. Clemson lost in their first game in round 2 to Miami. That was great. Colorado State. Yeah, they're on there to win the Mountain West. They made the semis, but lost by 12 to Utah State in the semis. How about Michigan State going off at 80-1 to win the Big Ten? They lost by 11 to Maryland in their first game. Ole Miss to win the SEC. I bet Mintzy would have been proud of that pick. They lost in the quarterfinals to LSU. USC, brutal loss in the semis to Colorado. The putback dunk with just a couple seconds left for the Buffaloes. But they almost won, Brent, so that pretty much counts.
Yeah, I don't know, Jeff. I mean, you haven't booked a winner on this show, and I don't know how long.
Decades.
I don't know how long. We'll see the totals in a moment. Bring up my card. Let me show you how to do it.
Yep, please.
There you go. UConn to win the Big East. I mean, listen, I still like the pick there. It didn't come through.
Texas winner, 8-1,
Yahtzee.
8-1.
Yahtzee,
Never a
the
doubt.
biggest
winner.
spike on this show so far,
It
8-1.
is. Yes, and I love Texas. I told you that. Shaka Smart shows up for tournament time. He's got his best program so far down with the Longhorns. I expect big things, especially over in the big dance. Love Texas. USC, I was with you on that one. Why? I don't know. I should have learned my lesson. Fade Jeff. Continue to fade Jeff. I should have been on Colorado. Purdue. I love this team. I'm clearly biased because my wife and the whole family, they're all alums, but I love Matt Painter. I love this program. I love Jaden. I love Travion Williams. I love Edey, the 7'4". He's the real mantis that's in the field. They didn't win.
Edey
They didn't
can
win.
shoot free throws really well, too.
Great
For such
shooter.
A big dude.
One of the best
Hard to
7-foot
put
shooters
on
in the history of the game from the line. That's actually, I'm not making that one up.
Yeah,
I'm actually not making that one up. And my Bonnies, winner.
Speaking of
Mark it
bias.
down. They won the Atlantic 10 Conference outright. They won the regular season championship outright. Now they're in the dance. They're a 9 seed. We're going to take on LSU. We're going to beat the Tigers. The Bonnies are the Cinderella team of the NCAA tournament this year. Book it.
All right, no bias.
Book it.
Producer John, do we have time for the tracker? If not, there's really no big deal. We can
Yeah,
just
let's
skip
bring it
over
up, John. I think we can make time for
we
this.
do have time. Okay, let's see. So I'm at minus 14.6 units. Brent, you are up almost 16 units. So it's basically about even.
Yeah, about even, Jeff. I mean, I don't know. Is this our 8th show?
Yes.
I mean, I don't want to.
think.
I'm not a math guy, but it looks like I'm winning about 2 units a week. I'm not a math guy, Jeff.
30 units of separation that you have created within the time span of 9 weeks. That is wild. Use that previous information how you please. We're about to give you our cards for this week, and we'll start with me, and I will start with the first 4 because you always got to have some kind of action on the first 4. Give me Drake plus the 2 versus Wichita State. Drake is a covering machine. Wichita State just did not look sharp in the American Athletic Conference tourney. They barely beat South Florida. They lost to Cincinnati in the next round. All right, everyone is riding the Cade Cunningham Express, and I love Cunningham. He's so much fun to watch. He's going to be the number 1 pick in the NBA draft, but that line looks strange. Liberty plus the 7.5. I think the sharps are on Liberty. The public is on Oklahoma State. Speaking of sharp, Brent, how about Oregon State plus the 8 versus Tennessee? Oregon State has really come on strong as of late. They won the Pac-12 tournament. They beat 3 really good teams in UCLA, in Oregon, and in Colorado. I like them against a Rick Barnes coach team in the NCAA tournament. All right, Brent, 2 plays out of the West region. USC versus Iowa is happening in the Sweet 16. The winner of that is beating Gonzaga in the Elite 8. So take USC to win the West, take Iowa to win the whole damn thing. USC 15-1 to win the region. Iowa, you can find them anywhere from 16-1 or 18-1 to win the NCAA tournament. Give me the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, now you have put out some horrific cards in weeks past. This might be your worst one
You
yet.
think so?
This could be your worst one yet, Jeff. You're on to something here. You could completely
Go
sweep
over?
here. Yeah, I think you're going to go over. In fact, I would bet the opposite of every single one here. Wichita State, Oklahoma State, Tennessee, lock it in. And then I wouldn't even touch USC to win the whatever. Let's move on to my card. Let's pull up some winners. Let's continue to shake and bake, a little sizzle, a little bacon. Michigan State -2. Jeff, they are going to dismantle UCLA. Not only do I have Michigan State winning this game, I have them winning the next game. I think Michigan State's going to make a little noise in the tournament. This is what Izzo does. It's March after all. We've got a blue blood in the field. Take a look who else I've got.
Michigan State would if they did beat UCLA.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. They're winning 2 games. They're winning 2 games.
Okay.
I don't have. You know what? I'm not going to pull the bracket up. North Carolina. Speaking of blue bloods, I like them.
Yeah.
They're playing their best basketball right now out of the ACC tournament. Now into the big dance. Roy Williams is going to have these boys cooking. I like Carolina -1 over Wisconsin. I have not liked Wisconsin this entire year. I've talked about a lot of Big Ten teams. Never Wisconsin. Don't like these guys. I think they suck. I like Carolina. They're going to win this one. Winthrop. Offensive explosion. They are going to beat Villanova outright. I'm going to take the points, but I am not afraid of the money line here. Villanova, not the same team. You heard Mintz when he's on the program. They can, without their star guard, I think it's just
Gillespie.
I always want to say Giuseppe. Gillespie, not the same squad. I don't think they can even beat Winthrop. I really like this team. My beloved Bonnies, I can't be any more biased if I try, Jeff.
Yep.
I love this team. I love what Mark Schmidt has done with this program. I love that all these starters are juniors. In fact, they don't have a single senior on their entire roster. They're bringing this entire team back next year. They're going to be ranked in the top 25 to start next season. They have potential. They have potential to make a run to the Sweet 16 this year. I really believe that. Knock off LSU, knock off Michigan, who's clearly hurt without livers. The Bonnies, baby, are going to be your Cinderella team this year. I'm also biased with this one. But you know what? Being biased works out. Purdue, national title, 75-1. I like their road. Again, I'm going to talk about that Winthrop-Villanova matchup. The winner of that game would square off against the Purdue matchup. They're playing North Texas, East Texas, North Texas. I don't know what Texas it is. Who cares? They're going to beat them. Purdue is going to have a little cruise to the Sweet 16, and I think that they are good enough to beat anyone in the country. They come from the toughest league, the Big Ten. They can beat anyone top to bottom. They can knock out Gonzaga. They can absolutely beat them. I think they can win it all.
Are they going to take a little cruise right through Baylor?
Absolutely. I think Baylor, it's a terrible matchup for them. I really do. I love the Boilermakers in this tournament.
Well, I like that, especially if you're getting 75-1. And this will be a great send-off for Mark Schmidt before he goes to Boston College next year, right? To coach that program?
They already picked up Mark Schmidt is not going anywhere. He's not going to Penn State.
Tilton with the
He's
same
not going to
Bonnies
Boston
coaching.
College. There's no reason for him to leave the Bonnies. He's got the entire roster coming back. In fact, they're going to add a couple folks with this new transfer protocol where you can just leave and go to a new school and play. You don't have to sit out. Just go
the
play.
right policy, yes.
So, yeah, he's going to bring back everyone. He's going to add some more players coming in, a little more depth next year. I'm telling you, man, these St. Bonaventure Bonnies, if they're not on your radar now, they certainly should be because they are here to stay.
All right, who's in your Final Four?
Hold on. I knew you were going to ask me that. I got to load it up because I keep changing it. My Final Four, and this is locked in, okay? This is absolutely locked in.
Locked in.
All right. Here's who I got.
No pressure. Just whenever you get a chance.
Zags.
Okay.
Versus Texas.
Ooh.
I've got Gonzaga versus Texas out of the West East. Moving on to the South Midwest. You heard it. Purdue Boiler Up versus Illinois. I've been high on Illinois all year. Now I'm gonna be very honest with you right now. I'm gonna be betting both Purdue and Illinois because I believe the winner of this game will win the national title. Will knock off Gonzaga in the finals.
But who's your actual bracket pick?
On this bracket here, I have Illinois.
So in the no gamble, no future bracket pool,
Illinois.
You'll have Illinois.
I have Illinois.
Okay. My Final Four. Iowa. Alabama, the 2 seed. I really like Alabama. They fall behind a lot early to start games, but they are, I think, the best second half team in the country. Baylor getting through Purdue, but I do like the Purdue at 75-1. And Illinois, I mean, you've been talking them up since the very beginning of the season. We should have bet them then.
God damn it, we could have got them at 30-1.
We should have fired them at 30-1. And now what are they, like 6-1?
They're 4-1.
Oh my God.
I mean, that was this morning when I looked, it was 4-1.
And I have Iowa beating Baylor in the final. So Iowa is my champ. Illinois is Brent's champ. Who's your champ? You can join us on the No Gamble, No Future bracket pool. All right, Brent, before we go, what do you say we wrap up with D-Gen of the Week?
Please.
That sound good to you?
Yeah.
All right, got 2 options for you this time.
Okay.
Option number 1, let's hit your Bonnie since, we keep talking about bias this, bias that. Was this you?
Dad?
Right here? This bet?
Bring it up there, John.
Right here?
Or are we bringing it in? There we go.
Yeah.
Gotta love it, man. Celebration. By the way, I'll get to this in a moment. Watch the camera guy there, the security guard.
Okay, yeah.
There's going to be a major thing that came out from this. It's fantastic. I mean, in a way. But yeah, this sick and twisted human being put his last, I think, $1,858 on the line for the Bonnies to win the Atlantic 10 tournament, and that profited about
it. Oh, just $95K or so.
$95,000.
Bet it before the season.
$95,000 at the start of the year. By the way, a little known fact: 1858 was the year that the St. Bonaventure University was founded. So I think that's got to be an alum that probably bet that. No one's come forward. I thought it was my dad, an alum. Turns out it wasn't him, unless he's lying to me, which he probably would because that's a lot of money. Yep. He's already helped me out enough in life. He says, "Screw you, pal. You're on your own." You got another one for me?
Well, I was going to say, just real quick, you did hype up Illinois at the beginning of the season when we could have had 30-1 on them. Instead, we get 5 or 6-1. You were very high on your Bonnies at the beginning of the season as well.
Yeah.
You could have had them to win
wait,
the
do we have
A10
that
at
photo,
like 40
John?
or 50-1.
Yeah.
No, we don't have
We don't have that photo
No.
of the camera guy getting
John
choked
told
out?
you that like 5 minutes before we
Never
went on
mind.
there, and you're
I
like,
didn't
okay, cool,
listen.
no problem.
It's out there. It's out there. Yeah.
There we go. But let's look at our second candidate for DGen of the week. And how about this parlay? And how about this spike? How would you like to turn $600 into about $1 million?
Jesus.
That is what somebody at FanDuel Sportsbook did. $600 into almost $1 million.
How does that
And
happen?
That is absolutely absurd. I mean, you just click
First
on a
of all,
bunch.
how do you?
spike.
So the guy clearly had, or the gal had $604 in their pocket.
Yeah.
And said, okay,
Yeah, this was a live
YOLO, I'm
wager
just
placed.
I need to go put this in because it's all I've got. I've already lost $1 million in the casino. How do I get
Yeah.
it back? Well, there's this
Got
parlay,
$604
12
left.
teams. I
Yeah,
mean,
we'll
I
just
can
click on
clearly
all of
just
them.
do this.
Multiple sports too. Did college hoops, did NBA, threw some NHL in there with the Islanders and
What
the
an
Hurricanes.
animal.
I mean, that is absurd, and that is all of the money. So DGen of the week, I'm going to go with the person who put $600 on a wild parlay like that.
Yeah, and I'm clearly going to go with the St. Bonaventure to
The
win it outright.
historian
The
of
historical
the
bet,
Bonnies.
1858 to win 95 grand. Great stuff.
All right, so next week, another big show. It's March Madness. March Madness continues. Then we will be 1 week away from High Stakes Duel 2. Be sure to click like and to click subscribe on the YouTube streets. Click like on our Facebook page. You just search No Gamble, No Future for that. And hey, go buy a hoodie. Shop.pokergo.com and you can get your No Gamble, No Future hoodie. That sounds pretty
Or
good.
win the bracket. We're going to give the winner
yeah.
a hoodie. You know what? Maybe we'll give the top 3 a hoodie.
Oh.
Can we be generous? I don't know. I'll
I don't
probably
know.
get in
Can you
trouble
get
from the
that
marketing
approved?
team, but I'm just going
Yeah.
to say it. We're going to give the top 3 teams a hoodie. Get in there, fill out your bracket, get a free hoodie. We'll put it in the mail. Jeff will throw something else in there. Maybe
I
a
think-
sticker, Jeff.
Well, the stickers, okay. The stickers I can throw into the mix. We're going to watch some games together over the weekend.
Yeah.
I'll be sure to find a way to get some video footage of Brent watching the Bonnies game, and then maybe we'll be able to watch some of the round 2 games together. We'll get some video footage of that to show you next week. For our wonderful, amazing, incredible crew, for Brent Hanks, I'm Jeff Platt. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next week on No Gamble, No Future. Thank you.